Riding colts will test you. Here's the rule that saves you. This is going to change how you handle spooks, bucks, bolts, and show day spirals.
Welcome to the Resilient Reiner, the premier podcast focused on mental performance for equestrians and improved horse show performance. Whether you're a rookie reiner or a seasoned competitor, this show is for riders who want to take their skills to the next level and achieve their full potential in the show ring. I'm Nicole Burnett, and I'm a master mindset coach who's obsessed with helping you achieve all those horse dreams you always thought were impossible. Join me each week to develop a show-ready mindset and gain the competitive edge you need to compete with confidence.
Welcome back, friends. It's your host, Nicole Burnett. I am so excited for today's podcast. And I was thinking about this recently because somehow I have just ended up in baby colt land the last couple of years. I started my mare, my Mustang, then my mare had a baby and I started her baby, started another Mustang. This year I'm starting another colt. So it's just, I don't know, who am I? I am a colt starter, I guess, for myself. Anyway, so as someone who has, in addition, the great honor of getting older each year, because if you didn't know, it is in fact a great honor to be getting older every year. We should all be so lucky. I have realized that I am pretty attached to my physical body and keeping it in good working order. And, well, babies are babies. So babies spook. They, get startled and run off. They have big feelings about small shadows. And they're constantly asking, hey, shouldn't we be, really worried about that? Shouldn't we be more concerned right now? And so, as a survival mechanism, I've had to lean hard into being cool hand Luke. I just go like, nah, nothing bothers me. I'm cool. You're cool. We're cool. And here's the line that I basically have tattooed onto my own forehead at this point. And yes, I drill this into my clients too. And that is, don't panic until you need to panic. Colts made this rule non-negotiable. But if you have ever gotten in your head on a dead broke horse at a show, it's the same exact problem with the same exact fix. Because overthinking has a sneaky way of turning a maybe into a full-blown emergency in your body. So if you ride, you know exactly what I mean. It starts innocent. It starts thinking like, oh, what if my horse spooks at the in-gate? What if I forget my pattern? What if we miss that lead change? What if everybody can tell that I'm nervous? What if I'm not actually as good as they think I am? Oh my gosh. And suddenly your brain is acting like you're about to be chased by a mountain lion when you're really just about to lope a circle. All right. But for real, loping that first time on a colt is, well, it's an act of faith. So I've got to tell you, as an overthinking eldest daughter, this rule is, this is hard fought for me, but don't panic until you need to panic. So the underlying thing here is that your brain is not trying to sabotage you. It is trying to keep you alive. Your nervous system, its job is safety, not accuracy, not confidence, not peak performance in front of the judge, or even, hey, let's give this colt a good ride today. So it is always scanning. It's scanning for threats. And oh my gosh, does it love worst case scenarios. Because worst case scenarios, it feels like preparing. I'm going to put preparing in quotes when you are just imagining catastrophes in your head. Like, it's not actually helpful. Here's the trap. Thinking about worst case scenarios, it doesn't prevent it. It just makes you ride like it's already happening, right? When you are just running over and over thinking about your horse spooking and you falling off, that's not helpful. That is when you get that tight chest, the stiff hands, the rushed body, the I can't breathe and I can't feel my legs moment. The classic, I know what to do, why can't I do it right now spiral. Oldie but a goodie. So here's the shift. And you can panic later if needed. I give you full permission to panic later if needed. Now, don't panic until you need to panic. It doesn't mean you ignore reality. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that we are off in la la land, not with this part, okay? It means you stop spending your valuable emotional fuel on disasters that haven't happened. It means you stop living the whole wreck in advance. So for riders, this sounds like, I'll deal with it if my horse blows up at the in gate, not let me mentally ride the blow up 47 times this week. It means I'll adjust if I miss the lead, not if I miss a lead, my run is ruined, my life is over, and I should sell everything and move to a remote cabin. It can look like, okay, I'm going to troubleshoot after I actually get new information, not my brain pre-decided this means I'm doomed, so I guess we're doomed. Let me give you a little example here, a little story. Now, I call this the mountain lion versus the rock problem. Imagine that we are riding out on a trail ride 1,000 years ago. So we're barefoot, messy braid, probably no helmets, just good vibes only. Now, you're the anxious one. I'm the we're fine one. You say, Nicole, that's a mountain lion. Most of the time, it's a rock. And because I say, what do you mean? It's not a mountain lion. It's a rock. Everybody can tell it's a rock. Most of the time, it is, in fact, a rock. But maybe the one time, it's not a rock. Or there's a mountain lion behind, on top, adjacent to the rock. In that moment, anxiety is going to win the evolutionary trophy. So your brain learned it is so much better to overreact and to survive than to stay calm and be wrong. That is why calm doesn't come naturally under pressure for most riders. It is not a character flaw. It is biology. The real flex here is short-term discomfort. One of the biggest skills that I've learned, both as a competitor, as a coach, as a human going through life, it's this. You learn to tolerate the discomfort of uncertainty without turning it into catastrophe. Let me repeat myself. You learn to tolerate the discomfort of uncertainty without turning it into catastrophe. Because growth feels like not knowing yet. We don't know. It looks like wobbling. It looks like being imperfect in public. Do you remember that I'm riding youngsters? I don't know exactly how every ride's gonna go. They're a little unsteady on their feet. We don't fully have straight lines. Growth looks like making mistakes and staying present anyway. That is the whole game. The whole enchilada. Now, if you can train your nervous system to stay online in that moment, now you're dangerous. in the best way. So here's something for you to try today, like literally today. The next time your brain starts yelling, you're going to do this. You're going to name it. You're going to say, my brain is predicting disaster. Then you're going to ground it. You're going to question it. You're going to say, do I have evidence that this is happening right now? Remember what I say all the time, that curiosity is a superpower? We're going to use that. Then, third, you're going to make a decision. You're going to decide, I am not panicking until there is an actual problem to solve. Not your fear of it, but until there's an actual problem. And then you're going to return. You're going to say, what's the next thing I need to do here in my body? All right. Do I need to breathe? Have I been holding my breath? If you are catastrophizing future events, there's a good chance you're holding your breath. You might need to soften your shoulders. You're probably squeezing those real tight. Maybe you're staring down at the ground because you're convinced you're about to fall off. Maybe you should look up, look where you're going, right? What do you need to do in your body? So you're going to name it, question it, make a decision, and return. All right. That is how you stop feeding the spiral. Get out there, stay confident, my friend. Remember that. Here's your new mantra. Don't panic until you need to panic, because we don't do that. We don't panic until we need to panic. If this hits home for you and you want a simple, structured way to train your calm switch so that it shows up at home and in the pen, that's exactly what 5 Days to Confident Competitor is for. These are 5 short audios, no fluff, practical tools you can use before you ride, walking into the pen, and mid-run when your brain starts getting loud. So thank you so much for being here. You guys are the best, and I will talk to you again soon.